Right, so now the last of these videos is going to be the long run AS diagram. Now, if you watched the last video, which I hope you have, the difference between the short run and the long run is in the short run for AS, one factor of production is fixed, and that factor is normally capital. What I mean by that is firms in the short run are not able to increase like the factories, so they might only have one factory, and they can't suddenly make another factory in the short run. In the long run, all factors of production are variable, which means capital, enterprise, land and labour, sell, all those things are variable, so they can all increase as much as the firms want. But in the short run, capital is fixed. Okay, so now remember, the short run can't be like a week or a month. So for different firms, it takes a different amount of time to build a new factory. Okay, so now we know the difference between the short run and the long run. We need to be able to draw the long run diagram. So the long run diagram is very easy, I think. You'll put price level and real GDP as normal. And you'll just have a long line like this, and you'll call it LRAS. Right, the reason why it's a straight line like that, and they call it perfectly inelastic, is simply that it cannot increase. So this is the maximum the country can make at the minute. So they can't make any more than that. So what does the country always want to do? They want to be able to make more stuff. So the more stuff they make, the more money they make. So they want the LRAS line to go from there to there. They want to be able to increase the amount the economy can make. Now on a second diagram, if you wanted to, you could say this exact same thing on and I'm going to put capital goods here, and I'm going to put consumer goods down here. I'm not going to be able to fit it in, but that's going to say consumer goods. Okay, and this is a PPF, which is what you did with Mr. Thompson. Now that line is meant to represent the maximum the economy can is at the minute. So, for example, if I put an A here and an A there, that's the same point. Okay, so if the economy was able to grow, you'd have a second line like this, and you'd call that B, that bit, and B's on this line there. Okay, right. So that is the long run AS. That's what the diagram looks like. But what you need to know is the factors that can make the long run AS go left or right, and what they are. I remember Q squared cell, and what that means is you can either increase the quantity or quality of cell. Now, if either quantity or quality is improved for cell, for capital, enterprise, land and labour, then there'll be an increase in what the country can make. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple of examples here so you actually know someone's for the exam. So, for example, what the country could happen is they could improve the quality of their labour. If they improve the quality of their labour, then the long run AS line will shift outwards. So, for example, quality of labour, you could put training, or you could also put education. So if you train workers more, they're going to be more skilled, therefore they can become more productive, which means they can make more stuff. And that will increase our long run AS. Now, quality, you could say two things. You could say immigration. So you could getting workers from abroad who've got the right skills, and if they come in, that means the economy can grow again. And the second thing I like to say for quality is you can reduce benefits. Right, if you reduce benefits, then people are less likely to want to sit around and not work. Therefore, they're going to work, which will increase the amount of workers in the economy, which means the long run AS line will go outwards. Right, a couple more. So to increase the quantity of capital, maybe the government could give grants to firms to try and get them to actually want to make more stuff. Firms could also increase the spending on R&D, research and development, which will improve the quality of their capital. Now, I could go through land and enterprise now, but to be honest, I think you can work that out yourself. The best ones in the exam are always the labour ones. They're the easiest ones to explain. Okay, so on your diagram, remember, you can either draw this line where the LRAS goes out, like that. Now, what you're going to do with this one is, you still need to have an AD line going through it, because without the AD line going through it, you can't do any sort of dotted lines. We've got P1 and Y1, and we've got P2 and Y2 here. Okay, so what you can see is if the long run AS line goes outwards, it reduces inflation in the economy, which is good, but at the same time it improves the amount of real GDP in the economy. And this is a really good thing to show. It shows just how good it is if the LRAS line goes outwards. It can solve all the problems with the economy. Now, you could draw it again with that PPF, where you have the PPF shifted outwards like that. But in my opinion, you can't talk as much with the PPF diagram as you can with the other diagram. So I prefer the other one.